Good evening and welcome. Had the wrong mic selected, Esther. I have updated my setup finally, but that was the one glitch for this cast, except for the fact that everything's been selected. But ay. What's new? We're gonna go right into the pick bands here. Ignore what you see on your screen as I fix that really quickly. Tanker and all right, so. Pick bands here for Legionnaires and Space Force. My name is TFH and I am bringing you Legionnaires and Space Force. Kind of got thrown off there for a second there. But the bands are not what you see there. They are actually Tanker from Space Force's side and Suburbia from Legionnaires' side. So very interesting picks, both of them close range maps, but then again we always see Legionnaires kind of perform very well on the long range maps as well, and so does Space Force. So I think this will be great for both teams here. We are waiting for everyone to fill up this lobby. Our first map will be Subway. A very popular one as of season 8 here. Kind of made a comeback after the update of the map itself, with the tunnel systems, the catwalk, and of course the ever so pretty update, as my dear friend Mr. Death likes to put it. Oh. Map 3 is in quarantine. One thing I forgot to do was reset everything. But that's okay, because I can fix that really quickly. The map is Subway. Yes, I am right this time. It is not Suburbia. There we go. We are waiting for the final member of Space Force to come into the lobby. The roster as of right now is, for Legionnaires side, we have X-Eric, El Vegas, Sri Lankan, who might be a reservist, Kagan, and Raider. On Space Force's side, the 4 that we know of so far are Honey Half, Destructor, Diesel, and Driver of Car. Only just to speculate who the last member will be. And our first objective will actually be the bottom level objective, or the bottom platform if you're a New Yorker. I am not, so please don't quote me on these things. But it's always a very interesting objective, because we see a lot of people kind of getting really creative with that new tunnel system that has been recently put in. Well, not really recently, but you know, you get what I mean. You get what I mean. That new tunnel system really shifts up the gameplay there. It used to be there were only 2 entrances into that objective, which was very well defended and very hard to cap on. But now, with the addition of that 3rd tunnel, it makes it a lot more balanced for Marsoc to make an approach, because now a team of 5 will have to defend 3 different places, only leaving 2 people to spare for what was originally 2 places to defend with 3 to spare. So a very cheeky little change up there. The 5th member of Space Force is in as we speak now. It is the one and only Malcriado. Expect to see some quick caps from this game. And hopefully we can get everybody underway here soon enough. Now, these two teams are both, I believe, Gold Division teams. So this will be a very tight matchup. And I'm actually just pulling up the stats now. It is a silver-gold matchup, with Legionnaires being the silver team and Space Force the gold, obviously, after that. Sri Lankan is definitely not on their roster, so he is a reservist. The previous times that they've played together, it has usually been Legionnaires to take the win. First time happening, both times actually happening in Season 7 with a 3-12 win for Legionnaires, and the second time a 10-6 Space Force. This could be Space Force's first time to take one for their own against the veteran team of Legionnaires. Even though we do have... Oh, actually, I just checked now. One member of Space Force has dropped, and I do believe it is Malcriado. This is gonna make things a bit more complicated. League rules do specify, though, that there is a set amount of time for everyone to kind of slowly trickle their way into the lobby. So there is no worries there. The max time is, I believe, 20 minutes, if not 15. And so, even in a worst case scenario, they still have 5 minutes to at least pull someone else into the match, or do a 4v4, because Legionnaires are currently using a reservist. And League rules specify that if there is, and I'm going to sound like a total nerd here saying this, that if both teams are only able to show up with 4 of the original members, and both are trying to use a reservist, they cannot do that. They have to play a 4v4. So it'd be very interesting to see Space Force and Legionnaires face it off with the 4-man squad, kind of the OG Onward, for those of you who remember that. I don't even remember that those days. It was before my time. But as I say that, Malcriado is back into the lobby, and they're going to probably use their 2 minutes now to strategize and figure out which approach they want to do. Oh, Malcriado is gone again. That is not good. We might see a rehost. Yeah, we're still waiting on the member of Space Force, namely Malcriado, or someone else to make their way back in. We still haven't seen them just yet, and they're probably trying to pull that guy. I haven't seen Sri Lankan leave, which means they're still trying to, at least Space Force, I should say, is still trying to get their 5th member in. But either way we go here, there will be will be even matchup. Put it that way. Going to take a quick gander over to our wonderful chat, see who's here and whatnot. Too Old is here. Always a welcome face. We're still waiting on the 5th member of the Space Force. Our brothers in arms in space. The 15-minute mark is rapidly approaching. I know that we have the 6-minute delay, so it may not seem like it, but it may seem like it's actually already passed by the time you're hearing this. But my time in the past is 9:13. Actually, no, my time's in the past, if we're thinking about this. Time travel is weird, ladies and gentlemen. Time travel is indeed very weird. But the time is now 9:14, and if it is a 15-minute rule, which I should actually look up while I'm waiting. But I have a feeling I'm going to figure out in a second here. They might be waiting on DMT if my just read in the chat. I can't say what I'm reading in the chat on stream, but it is very entertaining if you're not looking, or if you haven't looked. Take a peek up there. Too Old did cheer 100 bits, so thank you, sir. Let's go talk some strategy now. Going over the numbers here, we did see a ban of Suburbia come out of Legionnaires and Tinker from Space Force. Going over the latter, Space Force in all of history, recorded history, have only played Tinker once and lost. So that's a pretty obvious ban. Legionnaires, matter of fact, I should specify this. Legionnaires, on the other hand, have plenty of experience on Suburbia. It's not their worst map, but it's not their best either, so I guess it's a decent ban. Suburbia is Space Force, one of Space Force's good maps, so it could be that they're trying to ban in order to kind of choke down on Space Force a little bit. And as I say this, Malcriado has joined the lobby again. Let's all pray that he can hold it this time, and yes, he is. I'm hearing the beeps, the greatest beeps in the world. We're gonna take you straight straight. Oops. Yeah, there we go. Straight into the gameplay. I had the wrong thing up. This is round 1, map 1. Diesel's choosing to defend this north side here. Let's actually go take a peek at what Team Marsoc, or Legionnaires, if you're... And there we go. Legionnaires are actually choosing to go tunnel side here. We are on board with... And my taskbar is actually in the way, so... We are on board with Eric. They're actually taking their their sweet time here. I'm actually gonna turn off the flashlight. I think it looks better. Zarek is placed in a place where you can look for this flank that might come around Sri Lankan, who is a decent shield player. Let's actually go check over here and see if there's any C4 kind of sneakily placed. Is that it? No, that's a security camera. We're gonna get some Dora the Explorer going on here. Do you see the C4? There it is, and it's offline. Huh. Interesting. Invigorating, actually. Very slow push. Legionnaires have almost used up half their time here in T-minus 30 seconds. Nades have... It's very interesting seeing the reservist kind of lead the push, but then again, he does have the shield. The really weird part about this is that Legionnaires are really good with their tactics. They have their own playbook. They generally stick to it. Destructor and Sri Lankan might get some action here, but it does detonate that C4, which makes Sri Lankan's life a lot easier, but he still has to deal with the pinch between Destructor and Driver of Car. Sri Lanka goes down to Destructor. Was not anticipating that. Kagan gets the refrag. And it brings it down to a 4v4. Be on board with Kagan now. As him and Raider looking for Destructor, or where they think Destructor will be. Grabs that shield. A very good move. Starts shooting the shield. This driver car does find Raider.
Okay, we got friendly down. Thanks, rated.
Shots go on. Driver car is finding Zarek now.
Right under the stairs. Right under the stairs.
Yeah,
One minute.
I see him.
Under the stairs.
Under the stairs, as it is called out to be, Zarek getting revived by Kagan. Only 3 members of the Legionnaires still left up, and as I say that, Diesel does find Vegas, and now it is only down to 1. Driver still up. Kagan's trying to use that shield to his advantage and trying to ooh, very good. Very good peek, kind of distracting with the shield and just kind of popping out. Very well done now. The walk across the railroad tracks begins. And Kagan has a shield, so this could very well go in his favor. Except for the fact that he has to take down 4 members of Space Force, and Deagle already knows where he is, along with Honey Half. Nade going out. It failed. Diesel Ducks might have been flashed. No, he's looking pretty confident. I don't think he's been flashed. Kagan balances that shield really nicely in order to provide some extra cover. Shots coming out. He's not able to find Diesel. Tries to go for that peek on Honey Half, but it doesn't work. He's just in too much of a pinch, and Space Force take round 1. We've always known Subway to be a very Volk-friendly map, but this is Legionnaires' pick, so there might be some method to this madness. I'm going to lower the game volume just a tad. There we go. Now you can hear me a lot better. Space Force have also had a player drop. This time it is not Malcriado. Huh. We are still waiting on one member of Space Force to come in. This is gonna definitely mess with Space Force. Having players drop. Whoop. And Destructor is back. You heard it because that. We are back for the defense of the Legionnaires. See if they can reciprocate what Space Force did and potentially tie their game up. Remember, this is their first match, and this is their pick as well. We're seeing a very expeditious push coming from Space Force along the south side here. A nice C4 takes down driver car, and Sri Lankan's able to get that confirmation as well, bringing Space Force down one man. Some cheeky spot from Zarek, or ex-Eric, as Nightfire got me into the bad habit of calling him. Destructor. Oh no, it's a team down. You can still get the res, but it does kind of give away both of their positions, as Diesel probably made Diesel made the wrong cry out. More nades coming out as Destructor and a fellow member of Space Force make their way down into the stairwell along the north side. There are members of Space Force going crazy as Kagan finds himself another pick, bringing Space Force down yet another man. Zarek has actually found himself another double, bringing it down to one man. And he did that all with while blind firing. Oh, you heard those clicks. He's got to reload. Oh, he can't reach that other mag. Confirmation's coming out. And he's got that number exactly right. Only one member of the Space Force remaining, and that is Destructor, who hasn't even made his way downstairs yet. Choosing to go right beside the catwalk. He's going for the south side this time. Destructor finds Kagan and gets the confirm as well. He just needs to find Vegas here, but he is unable to, as he didn't see him, and he rushes in, and Legionnaires tie it up. Legionnaires find themselves a point on the board and hold themselves into the game here. I do believe something I've said before holds true. When you have people dropping off your team because of technical glitches, it does kind of ruin the momentum you build up. So this could be coming into play with Space Force here. Just simple luck and the roulette of glitches. Our next objective will be probably one of my favorite ones. It is the north one, and it is especially awesome after the rebalance of spawns. Volk now spawns closer, so now it's no longer a race to the objective in the literal sense of it. Volk can set up, push out, or choose to kind of stick closer if they so choose to. We'll see what Space Force really want to do with this, but knowing them, they are a team of fairly aggressive players, but they are very skilled nonetheless. Beeps going off. It is game time here. Round 3. And the Legionnaires are... We're gonna see what they do here. They do have a shield, which is especially good along these lanular combat zones, but Sri Lanka's choosing to stay back in case Space Force choose to early nade, which it looks like that they are choosing to do with Honey Half there, completely botching his nade, but it's actually a flash, so it doesn't matter in the end. Zarek finds Destructor along the catwalk. Gets the confirm. Whiskey, probably meaning that they're number 5's down.
Can somebody put a nade on that corner? Because he's there.
Save your nade. Save your nade. Don't save your nade.
Well, he's on that corner. How are we gonna go?
Sri Lankan is... Ooh. There's not a great cohesion going on here, or just... Sri Lankan sounded a little nervous.
Pop this from there. I need it. I'm gonna nade that corner.
Push coming up from Sri Lankan as quote, he's going to nade that corner. Messes it up, doesn't find any purchase. Let's go to Honeyap's view here, see what he's got planned for the members of Legionnaires. Not seeing any C4 laying about, but I don't want to pan the camera around, just wildly searching. Sri Lankan is calling out exactly where Honeyhap is. The flash from that goes way too high. Doesn't find anybody. Doesn't help Honeyhap out at all. Second one to do so. A peek from Honeyhap in order to try to deter or find any enemy movement. Does not find any purchase. There is a shield there, so this is going to be extremely difficult for Honeyhap. A nade goes over, but both of them go too high. Sri Lankan does find Honeyhap. The C4 goes off and finds two. Sri Lankan is confirmed dead. Zarek will get revived from Vegas. Eric gets revived from Vegas. I keep calling him Zarek. And now he will have possession of the shield. I always love the view from shield combat. Let's take an onboard from that. There is Diesel, or no, I'm sorry, that's Destructor, who is waiting right there. Vegas finds Malcriado. The peak will come out here. The trade will come out. Eric and Diesel will go down thanks to Vegas's move. One left on Space Force. He is rotating the heck back to objective. Driver. Oh, and a failed nade. It's a flash, so he's completely blind. Shots coming out here as two members of the blind fire from the tar actually gets hit once. You better pray he has a nade. He doesn't, and Vegas is able to finish off the round, giving Legionnaires the lead for their second win in a row. Very well executed push with the shield. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see much more shield combat because the main shield guy got blown the heck up. That's why I always say the shield is actually balanced. You just need to know how to play the C4. I think playing with the C4 and the shield are both equally as hard because you gotta know where to place this and be really, you know, creative with the C4. You want to catch out shields. I'm probably gonna start a war. We're gonna start a war in the chat. That's okay. I'm always one to promote discussion. Yeah, I see you guys. I know, I'm missing some of the action, but I'm trying here. Subway is not the easiest place to cast, because I have to navigate an entire maze in order to be able to get to certain areas. Post-battle talking about and whatnot coming out of the Space Force. Outer Space's finest. We will see a shield coming out of Destructor here. a very aggressive one nonetheless. And a very nice nade will take down Malcriado. The res will come out. Diesel will start pre-firing along with Zarek. He will catch Eric. And this gives Space Force the lead that they so desperately need in order to stay in this. Kagan does find Malcriado behind the camera. A nade is primed. If it lands between Raider and Kagan, which it does, it can get a double. And they are on objective, but another nade takes out all three of them. Space Force only have 1.5 members left standing. And he is where? Still having to make his way down. He realizes he's the last man up. Chooses to actually nade, but it won't land anywhere near. Will actually kill off his last hope. Another flash goes out, but it just doesn't work as Legionnaires are able to get the revives out and get the last member of Space Force. But the nades and the counter nades have been on point. And Legionnaires are running away with this. They have a 2-point lead, I should say. They have 3-1. Space Force have to change some stuff up here if they want to stay in this match. They have been very aggressive, especially on that last objective. As a matter of fact, it almost caught them out if it weren't for the fact that the first nade along the alleyway wasn't so perfectly well placed, which I can't judge. You really can't aim with those unless you got a really good throwing hand. Which point, I would say anyone who could do that must be like a Major League Baseball player. Which point, I would just say, go do that. You're gonna get paid more. The next objective will be, drum roll please. Very standard defense coming out of the Space Force. Let's go on board with Space Force for a second as we wait for the unification of forces to happen here. Unification of the Space Forces. I'm not picking up on these puns quicker. We are seeing a very heavy south push, which makes the man on the north unvaluable until he decides to either return to objective or flank. Sherlocken's also making his way up to the Volk spawn, or at least what is the Volk spawn now, or the Marsoc spawn, I should say. It's never a Volk spawn. The spawn point. There's some shots coming out from Diesel here as he... Yep, exactly what he said, a misfire. Kagan and Driver here. Driver's actually pretty well tucked in here. Kagan is peeking. I don't think... Ooh. Raider does find Malcriado, and Kagan actually chooses to go on the rotation around rather than face Driver of car. Just totally valid. Driver's in a hard spot to attack anyways, so luck kind of works out for him in the end. Sri Lankan has made his way to the normal spawn and is actually in a very good place to contest Honey Half, mainly because he has such a good control of the lane. Raider will find Diesel closer to objective. And Zarek actually managed to get past Driver of car, mainly because he was in the catwalk, which means Driver never saw him. Sri Lankan got distracted for a second, probably by Raider, and gets caught out by Honey Half. And whichever way your head faces with the shield is where the rest of your body points, so you might not know it, but your body can stick out. And Legionnaires actually take the round. Legionnaires, I'm sorry, they actually took the map. Legionnaires have 1 on their map pick, which isn't surprising. It took them a little bit to gather their momentum, but it could just been, you know, wasn't their spawn point at first, but a very decisive win for Legionnaires to start off with. Alright, we got loaded in now. I can now tell you what our second map is. Our second map is Quarantine. Always a fun one for me. I always enjoy the diversity of the plays that you could see coming out on Quarantine. If we would, there we go. There's that highlight.
technical problems, Todd. I had to restart.
I do believe that actually all players on the game have had a crash here for a second. So I'm just going to bring you over to a intermission really quick. And I have actually experienced a crash as well. So we're just going to take you over to an Alrighty, guys. Sorry about that. My Onward crashed, but we are now popping back into the action on map 2, Quarantine. And our first objective will be the ambulance. Pre-fire coming out from Legionnaires. Let's go check out what the Marsoc are doing. Look quick, they are actually really bundled up on these tow trucks. Or if you're old school, you like to call them cement trucks. Because, obviously, there were cement trucks here. We are seeing a 3-1-1 push here. One mid, one south. I'm actually going to bring up the map just to illustrate this. 3 people on the tow trucks that we see right here. One in the middle, one in the south. Very bundled up, but the people in the south are incredibly exposed. And speaking of said people, let's go tune in on them because I have a hunch that they'll be attacking first. Smoking along the street here in order to cover a push. No members of Space Force have... I'm sorry, no members of Legionnaires really noticed the push yet, but a nicely placed nade. A little too short. Goes up. Honeyhav finds Eric on objective, thus exposing it a little bit more. Legionnaires will have to rotate in order to get back on. Raider finds driver of car on his rotation as well. He actually has that whole kind of small little lane pretty locked down. Destructor finds another member. He's actually about to take on the wing here, but he ducks recover just in time. The shots come out, and Kagan reigns victorious along the plane wing in a nice rotation. Destructor is still able to do the callouts. For he's only down but not out. Malcriado is not looking in the right place if he wants to find Vegas. He is now. If Vegas... He does see Vegas's feet underneath the ambulance. He's actually taking shots at it right now. He might be able to get some if he's extremely accurate, but doesn't work. And Raider will catch another one with that nice little lane that he's holding there. Matter of fact, let's turn these lasers on because I have not been running those at all. There we go. Honeyhav knows exactly where Raider is and how much of a pain he is to his team. And Space Force are currently down a man, but they can do the rotation if they wanted to, if Diesel really wanted to, I should say. And maybe get this res. Honey does find Raider on that. More shots raining out. It's actually Kagan trying to catch Diesel, who's going for this res. He's getting into that position on the plane wing, but he doesn't know exactly where Diesel is. He's scanning, but he can't find him. And the res does come out. Kagan has been hit once. Can he reign victorious again? Yes, he will find Destructor. And the South will still reign the name of Legionnaires. Only one member of Space Force, or 2 members of Space Force left. One on the South is what I meant to say.
courtyard.
And he does call out one of them. So we can expect all the arrows to kind of point toward him now, but Diesel's actually looking to get his revenge, and that he does. Kagan goes down on the plane wing, down and out. And Honeyhap will actually confirm Raider this time. Vegas will find Honeyhap. And now we are down into a 1v1. Diesel versus Vegas. And Diesel's running up on objective. Vegas isn't peeking. No, he's not. He's looking at the wrong place. Diesel isn't capping either. He's expecting it. And no! Oh, he does manage to get the... Yes! That's so sneaky. Wow. Space Force go up immediately with 2 points. Look at that. A little confused there for a quick second. It's already looking like it's going to be a tight game. 4-3. We're only into the first round of the second map. And Space Force are looking pretty good to bring it into map 3 off the get-go. Like we always say, we have reversing objectives here, so now Legionnaires will be on the attack here. They are not guaranteed the same spawn. And there is one that comes from the rooftop, so this could play the Legionnaires' favor too if they want to try to go for this cap. They will actually have the same spawn, as we can kind of see on the map here. As we go into round 1, map 2. I'm sorry, round 1, match 2. Nice V formation as what looks like a 4-1 push is coming out so far. I can't really say for certain as of yet, as it's only been 15 seconds ever since the round officially started. But it is looking like it's going to be a 4-1 push, which is extremely risky because you can see from the lasers, Legionnaires have this whole roadway pinned down just from one man, and he's looking to be really effective so far, unless they find him really quick, which they do. Raider looking at Diesel, looking to get that angle, but Diesel's hunkered in tight. Raider doesn't see him right just yet. The battle's coming out. Raider's unable to find Diesel. He's down but not out. The res can still come out, but now Legionnaires know exactly where the rest of this push is coming from, as you can hear from Destructor. More shots coming out. He doesn't able to find anybody as one makes the cross. The revive will come out on Raider, and driver of car will punish DMT for doing said revive and get Raider on the same time. Eric is trying to get the man under the tank, and he is not moving for some reason. I don't think he's put 2 and 2 together that people are shooting under the tank. Diesel taken down by Kagan on a nice rotation. And shots coming from driver of car onto Kagan now, as Kagan and driver are now into a very long range battle. Does call him out before he tries to engage him further. Let's see, I was going with our tank boy here, Malcriado and Eric. Malcriado is still alive. after all that punishment, but he might get caught out here from the sneaky rotation from Eric here. If he's not careful with where he puts his butt. I'm surprised we haven't seen a rotation, but oh, he's just in such a nice spot that he cannot see. Oh, look how narrow that is. Don't move, Mal. Don't move. Wow, that worked. Honey, I find Vegas. Actually, you know, it's a refrag because Vegas found driver of car previous. And now we are down into a 3v2. Legionnaires disadvantaged by one man. And this could get changed up really quick here if Malcriado makes a wrong move, but the peeking tails is still going on here. As Eric is just not able to find this angle. I think he's just gonna resort to going around to the other side and shooting him from there. Shots raining out from Destructor. As he tries to shut down. Oh, and Eric is finally able to find Malcriado. Because Malcriado did not rotate after being shot at a million times. Kagan finding Honey Half. It is now one member Destructor, namely of Space Force, left, who is off objective, if I am not mistaken, very far off objective. The only thing he has control over is this street, but if they choose to go via the desert, which they actually choose to do, Kagan is now on objective, and Destructor is not even focusing on objective. He is focusing on Eric, but there is a cap happening. And the cap comes out for Legionnaires. They tie it up. And we are once again, Space Force are fighting for their right to party. That was the Beastie Boys. Cap after cap. The main thing to be learned from this match here is to always watch objective, even after you cap. The rotations, though good at some points, are just not what either team needed. And just both teams have each other's numbers when it comes to at least that objective so far. I can't really say for the rest because, well, we haven't seen them play, but we are seeing them be very aggressive in their defenses, as in they like to defend those really niche lanes, but at the same time, those niche lanes don't cover the entire objective. It only covers one approach. So both teams have kind of been screwed over by the same principle. Shots coming out right off the bat. It is Diesel using his fancy team talk. As he takes more shots. More shots coming out from Honey App, trying to suppress any kind of rotation for any kind of rapidly set defense, but it doesn't work. Legionnaires, on the other hand, let's take a peek at them, what they're doing. They are actually pushing up really hard here. Vegas in particular might get caught out by Mal, but no, he doesn't. Matter of fact, he's actually going to get really thirsty for I don't know if he's ready for Mal. Yes, he is. He is able to find that, but the refrag is unable to be found from Diesel. Or no, from Honey Half. Honey Half goes for the rotation, but it gets caught out by Vegas as he did not. Space Force only down at 2 people with Legionnaires 4 left, and as I say that, El Vegas finds Destructor along the backside. He has now got a triple. And he's looking really good for Legionnaires. Driver car does find DMT, but now he's got some more company coming from the roof, and Romeo, where art thou, Romeo? I'm up here shooting at you. Within the course of 3 rounds, Legionnaires found themselves to match point. This is a fairly difficult one to defend, so it's very likely we could see Legionnaires shut down the match in match 2 or in map 2. Of course, we don't want to see that. We want round 3, we want map 3, round 7, all the way, all the time, every game. It's the way the VRML is meant to be. This is Space Force's time to shine here. They have to get this point if they want to stay in this game, like it or not. Legionnaires have been very aggressive on their defenses, but not so aggressive on their offenses. They look for these picks. They know where Space Force is going to be. They're going to have to change up all their strategies in order to be able to kind of compete with Legionnaires, find secondary spots, and then maybe strategize from there, maybe do it on the fly. But just something isn't working for the gold team here, who's currently getting trampled by a silver team. Ooh, this might be good for Space Force because let's drop in and let me explain. This is probably their best spawn that they could have ever hoped for. Namely because Space Force can take this building, the center birding, really effectively, which they are doing. And that could shut down a lot of lanes of approach, which it is doing right now, as Vegas has to crouch down and slow his approach. He has 2 people trained on him off the get-go. Matter of fact, he can only hug that wall if he wants to survive. We will be seeing 3 members of Legionnaires actually attempt to go up to the north here and maybe take on that rooftop before Vegas makes his move. I think would be the wisest choice, as Vegas is currently in a heck of a pinch. Smoke comes out. It looks like he's gonna actually make his move now rather than wait for help to come. Shots coming out from another friendly Marsoc gun, an AK-5C namely. As Vegas is able to get to himself some better cover. Take a look at what's going on in the oh, shots coming out from Diesel. Might have found Vegas, or might have seen Vegas. Nades coming out. Actually getting really aggressive on this ambulance here, Destructor is. Got caught on a stoplight. Legionnaires have really slowed up their play here, waiting for this north side to make their move and clear up. Ground thinks he sees something, but in reality there's... Oh, he did see him move. He saw the rotation, but the member who we're currently looking at right now is actually making his move across. If Valkyrie had been just a little bit sooner, he might have been able to catch it, but he has not rotated, which means he could easily get caught out here. Oh, I saw his body peek for a second, but he did not react. And Raider will find the first kill for the team on his match point. Which is going to look really good for Legionnaires, taking map 2 and the game. It's up to Honeyhalf to stop this approach from Raider, who's kind of going solo here. We're about to... Diesel's not even looking and watching his butt from DMT. Matter of fact, he doesn't know that 3 members of Legionnaires have completely snuck up on him. They don't even know that they're there either. Neither of them are very aware. Except Diesel now. But he wasn't able to get that. DMT is able to take complete control of the roof, which is so crucial to this objective. This is going to force Honeyhalf to rotate, but Honeyhalf is able to find Raider after Raider finds Destructor, but Honeyhalf is the last man up standing, and Eric has his mind on the 7 digits. Honeyhalf gets traded with Kagan, and there will be no cap. Legionnaires will take map 2 and the game very decisively. And our final map will be a favorite of mine, if I may say so myself. Cargo. Oops, I realized. We'll be popping in on the final map here, as Space Force fight for their MMR, as they have lost first round. Shots immediately coming out as Kagan with that night vision to see if there's any shield plays happening. Is trying to pre-fire this lane here. Yeah, finds DMT, giving Legion Space Force the advantage. But right as I say that, Raider divides Diesel and is able to get dangerously close to the objective, which is currently undefended for the most part. Driver will make the rotation back, and we do. Yes, Raider probably has given his position away by now. And Driver is just waiting for that in anticipation, but so is Raider waiting for Driver to make his move here. Kagan is not able to find the pick on whoever that is hiding behind those canisters there. He has to reload an M249, which is a much more complicated process because you have to do belt in, belt out, tap down, and trigger in, but it doesn't matter. Anyways, he's able to find Honey Half. He does go down to Destructor. Gets caught out from Destructor as I get caught in a wall. And Legionnaires take the first win of map 3. An expeditious push coming out of Space Force. Almost had it for a second there, but just Legionnaires knew exactly how to play their cards. They waited near the objective, forcing Space Force to have to rotate onto objective, and then they punished those exact rotations in order to be able to get the first point, which I will award now. Now we do have a mirroring objective here, as we hop into round 2.
Let me just go first. Because I'm gonna be out of your thing.
Shots coming out here. Oh, and an immediate down of Destructor. Diesel also goes down as well. I'm sorry, Eric goes down as well. Legionnaires have already lost 2 members. 3 now as Driver Car finds DMT. Only 2 members of Legionnaires left on a very expeditious defense. And Space Force took that first round as Legionnaires got a little too aggressive. I believe that was actually a perfect round. No, it wasn't. Diesel went down. So it was a near perfect round, only 4 strong, but it doesn't matter. Space Force tie it up for map 3. Why I'm hyping up? It doesn't matter, it's only MMR. They're not even giving me a break here. We are going to be hopping right back into the next round here. We do know that Legionnaires like to play it slower on offense, especially against space. Question is, will Malcriado and DMT are currently in a battle. There's actually a battle of flanks right now. But Malcriado's got more in his mind. He's got 2 members of Legionnaires literally right next to each other. No members on either team have gone down yet, but Mal is just too far up to be of any defense anymore. He's got to look behind it, but he's holding an angle, which just doesn't matter anymore. He's able to find DMT, but now Kagan's on the rotation. Shots coming out from Zarek, who's able to find 1 member of Space Force. Kagan's able to find Malcriado right here. And Raider's able to find driver of car, bringing it down to a 2v4. Not looking great for Space Force, but they still can defend because they have everyone still on objective. But as I say that, Raider does find Honey Half, leaving 1 member of Space Force left to defend. And they know exactly where it is. Driver of car gets caught out by Vegas, and Legionnaires take round 2. Again, we like to see, or I don't say we like, but we see Legionnaires slowing down the play on their offense, but when on defense, they just push out as far as they possibly can to the limit. And don't leave them any time to fortify or any time to kind of hunker down and prepare for any kind of offensive. This might be Space Force's advantage to capitalize on this. Maybe slow down, wait for them to get to the spawn. I don't know, Caster Visions 2020. Shots immediately coming out as Kagan is just pre-firing right here. He's actually... Kagan does find Diesel as Diesel just completely ignores all the shots that were heading his way from Kagan. Kagan finds another one as Destructor goes down. Space Force only 2 members down, 3 members down, and is able to punish, but oh, and a nade finishes it off. Legionnaires go up 3-1. They don't even give me time to even collect my thoughts. We're popping into round 5 now. It's one of my favorite objectives. This is Legionnaire's chance to send it home and send the message. Make it for the 3rd straight time that Space Force has lost to Legionnaires. Even though Legionnaires are a lower ranked team. Diesel finds Zarek and Destructor finds Kagan, making it a 3v5. DMT and Malcriado trade 4v2. The revive comes out on Raider. Now it's down to a 3v4. Shots come out, but he wasn't able to get it as he was behind the thing. A trade between DMT and driver of car, but DMT... Oh, Honey Half gets a trade, or I'm sorry, a team kill. And now the momentum is completely lost as we go into a 1v1 between Raider and Diesel, both perfectly competent players. Diesel's looking a lot better. He's going for the knife. Press F for the disrespect. Wow. Casually takes out a knife. And backstabs him. That's just disrespect, man. Space Force's time to at least take one of these maps is here. But Kagan has other ideas along with Raider as they bring it down to a 3v5. A mad push from Honey Half is able to find DMT right off the bat. Flash coming out as Honey Half and Zarek, whoop. Go for it, go head to head. Driver of car might be able to get the flank on the flanker. The flanker's been outflanked. Yes, you heard it, folks. It's a 2v3. Anything is possible, but as I say that, it is now a 2v2 as Kagan's able to pick out driver of car. Criado and Vegas. But Mel had his tablet out. Whose idea was that? To go tablet out without checking the corner. Legionnaires take map 3. Alrighty, this has been... I don't even know what to go with off that last one. This has been... Legionnaires versus Space Force on OML 2 from the Onward Master League. If you like what we do, you can always check out the other stuff that we do for casting wise and other games like what is new to be Echo Arena, and amongst other things like Final Assault and Pavlov, along with Contractors. My name's TFH, and from the Onward Master League casting crew, have a good night. I will see you all tomorrow.